Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley. My name is Chris Chichester. I live at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield. How am I delivered to Monroe County Jail in Penfield Town Court before John Lomenzo when your prosecutor stands at a podium and says not one word, not one syllable, not one sound comes from her? What is her name? Sandra Doorley. What country do you live in? Sandra Doorley. Where is the United States of America located on a map? Sandra Doorley. So, I'm going to show you 2 appearance tickets that are an assault on my life, character, integrity. I go to the now defunct PW Fitness in Penfield. I'm at the back of the gym on the bench press. I'm doing 3 sets of 10. I'm about to begin the 3rd set of 10. I'm about to lean back. Up walks to me is the gym psychopath, Jermaine Benman. He's a gym psychopath. He screams when he uses the weights. And that's not all what he does at the gym. And I tell Benman I'll be 30 seconds because I'm already on the machine. And I never allow the gym psychopath to tell me what to do with the gym. So I lean back to continue the exercise as I'm on the machine. Benman doesn't want to wait. He stands over me. As I'm leaning up, he punches down like this and my head snaps back. Now this is an assault. And I had to control myself from attacking Benman. And I don't believe in violence, so I didn't attack Benman. And a witness at the gym called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and Andrew Reale arrived. So I go outside with Benman and Reale. And Andrew Reale tells me to wait in his vehicle. And I do. And I'm in the back seat of Todd Baxter's Monroe County Sheriff's vehicle. And Andrew Reale is talking to Jermaine Benman in front of me. Because he's coaching Benman what to say to me. He's telling this violent thug, this sociopath, what to say to me. Because Andrew Reale of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is in the process of concocting a crime for me. And it's going to be harassment second. So, I'm watching Reale coach Benman. And then he walks Benman over to the side of the vehicle and he says to me, quote, "I want to press charges against you," end quote. And that is how I'm charged with harassment second, sitting in the back seat of Andrew Reale's Monroe County Sheriff vehicle, and Andrew Reale has not been fired. Despite the fact that I've contacted this corrupt hack, this menace in Monroe County, Todd Baxter, repeatedly about it. What would you think if that happened to someone in your family, Madam District Attorney? If Andrew Reale rings up someone you care about, someone you love, for harassment second, sitting in the back seat of a Monroe County Sheriff vehicle? So, I moved here to my residence in Penfield in 2012, beautiful, perfect Laura. I live alone now. But when I lived with beautiful, perfect Laura, there's no grass cutting going on alongside my residence ever. Not one time. This is when Dr. Gloria Nichols is at 2041 Penfield Road. And I used to walk my Shih Tzu I adopted from Lollipop Farm along this tract of land next to my house to reach the land behind my house that has no ownership. 4,000 times I've walked my dog. So there's no grass cutting, and I'm walking my dog like I always do. Now, Madam District Attorney, I don't know where you live, and I don't give a damn where you live. But how would you like it if it's 7 a.m. on a Sunday And then you have grass cutting going on alongside your residence on a Sunday. And this happens repeatedly. And here they come by your window at 7 a.m. What would you think about that? On land that has no ownership. Because Neeraj and Leila Kumar Shah, 2041 Penfield Road, don't own the land alongside my house or behind my house, because they do not have the documentation to prove it. And the Monroe County Office of Real Property Tax Service also can't confirm that they own the land. And then when I called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office about them, the conversation goes this way. He owns the land. This is what Todd Baxter's employee said to me. I said, he does? Neeraj Shah or Leila Kumar Shah own that land? Send me the documentation. And I never received anything. So, if you don't own land, you can't prove you own land, what are you doing on that land? Wouldn't you agree, Madam District Attorney? So, Sheriff Todd Baxter and his psychopaths are going to set me up. So I speak to this Deputy Meyer, this revolting, vile, nauseating, pathetic hack liar for an hour on the phone. When I don't know if she's writing a warrant for my arrest while I'm talking to her, or after I talk to her, right before I talk to her, because she doesn't care what I have to say for walking through this parking lot. Well, I don't know that this warrant exists. And the minute I set one big toe in this parking lot, Sheriff Baxter's whack jobs are going to descend on me. This is what they're doing in Monroe County. There's real crime in Monroe County. There's violence in Rochester every day. And here's Todd Baxter and his Panorama Trail whack job setting me up. So, I go walk through the parking lot for the 4,000th time, and Elliot Roth of this Business Consumer Insights at 2025 Penfield Road is outside. And he says, you're going to be arrested. And I have no idea what he's talking about. That's because he knows to set me up. So Roth knows what they're about to do to me. So, Sheriff Todd Baxter's employees tell this man who's missing his front teeth and only knows 2 words in English, and those 2 words are fuck you. Because when you ask him, what are you doing here at 7 a.m. on a Sunday? He says, fuck you. So here he comes alongside my house. They know I'm going to come outside my house and I do it again. You should not be on land you don't own. You can't prove you own. Here he comes. I go outside. I'm on video. I'm on the camera that Todd Baxter expended taxpayer dollars to affix to the building at 2025 Penfield Road for me, and that has an assigned number at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that I was provided when I demanded the video footage of me. 50 plus times I've demanded that video because I'm not committing any crime on that video. I'm not guilty of criminal contempt or any crime for being outside for 30 seconds. So, Todd Baxter's employees told this toothless tractor rider, get on your tractor and go by his house. And he's on his tractor, he's coming by his house. And I see him and I go outside to tell them. They don't own that land, Leila Kumar and Neeraj. And as I'm outside, I see Steve Desmond, who works for this grass cutting racket, a civilian. I look at Desmond, he's got his phone out. The man on his tractor gets off his tractor and walks away because his job is to get me to come out of the house. Desmond gets on his phone. I'm looking at him. As I tell the toothless tractor rider and Desmond, they don't own that land. 30 seconds I'm outside and I'm on video pointing. They don't own that land. I walk back in my house. It's that simple. A half hour later, I see Deputy Whackjob Meyer run into my backyard. And she falls down right on her face. Then she's doing a reverse somersault pike in my backyard, this whack job. There she is laying in my dirt, this Deputy Meyer. There she is, this disgusting, vile liar setting me up in my backyard dirt. And then I hear this pounding on my door. I don't know what that is. I go to the door, and the first language I ever hear from a Monroe County Sheriff whack job is a lie. We just want to talk to you outside. I go outside. I stand on my lawn, and my neighbor, Adam, is outside. My neighbor across the street is outside, and they're both watching this. So I walk onto my front lawn, and they start to surrounding me. Now I know what's about to happen. And this sergeant, and I have told him to his face that he's a stomach-turning presence in Monroe County. They take my wrists, takes my wrists behind my back, and on go the handcuffs. So, Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley asking for another 4 years in your conviction integrity unit concoction. What crime did I commit, Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley asking for another 4 years? Tell me. Is that criminal contempt to walk outside and say they don't own that land and walk back in your house? How is that possibly a crime? How is that possibly a crime? Kyle Steinbach, you want to be a judge, baby, right? Tell me. What crime did I commit, Kyle Steinbach? Yo, why don't you harness all the power of the JD that you earned there, Kyle? Why don't you email? You got my email address because I've emailed you. Put your Juris Doctor to work, Kyle, baby. What crime am I committing? Tell me. Tell me, anyone. Anyone you there, any one of you there in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Perry Duckles, what crime did I commit? Mark Monahan, what crime did I commit? Julian Hahn, what crime did I commit? Michael Harrigan, what crime did I commit? Matthew Schwartz, what crime did I commit? Robin Catalano, what crime did I commit? Michelle Crowley, what crime did I commit? William Gargan, what crime did I commit? Sarah Von Stridon, what crime did I commit? Elizabeth Buckney, what crime did I commit? Stephen X. O'Brien, what crime did I commit? David Dice, what crime did I commit? Ann Chase, what crime did I commit? Tell me. Tell me what the crime is. Criminal contempt. Criminal contempt is a crime. I didn't commit it. So, all I did is go to the gym, work out like I always do, and walk outside for 30 seconds. And Todd Baxter's fanatics have descended on my life twice as an innocent man. Conviction, integrity unit. What a joke, what a lie, what a farce. The fact that you have to have a conviction integrity unit, Sandra Doorley asking for another 4 years, is an indictment of your incompetence. So, I have to go to Penfield Town Court before John Lomenzo. Does that even ring a bell there? Monroe County District Attorney, office, staff, you have to appear in front of this character, this 70-year-old hack who didn't even know the charge when I first appeared there in Penfield Town Court. 70 years old. What is a 70-year-old hack doing in Penfield Town Court, which is in a library? I didn't even know that Penfield Town Court is inside the Penfield Public Library, despite the fact that my ex-girlfriend, beautiful, perfect Laura, worked at the Penfield Public Library. And I'd go over there to see her. So I'd walk in the front. I don't know, at the end of the hallway is John Lomenzo and James Mullen. So John Lomenzo, and I hope you notice that the Monroe County District Attorney's Office is responsible for releasing Daniel DeLouse III. Daniel DeLouse III was arrested by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office because he was observed trying to entice children with candy or other device, because Daniel DeLouse III is a child rapist in Penfield. He's trying to rape children in Penfield, Daniel DeLouse III. Does the name sound familiar? Is any one of you in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office handling Daniel DeLouse III? So John Lomenzo knows Daniel DeLouse II, and he doesn't recuse himself from that case. And then DeLouse III is subsequently released by Lomenzo because the documents are, quote, defective, end quote. His word, defective. That's his word. And he's subsequently rearrested, apparently for trying to entice children again. He's trying to rape children again, I should say. So the guy I have to appear in front of, the extremist I have to appear in front of, the bankrupt hack I have to appear in front of, is a protection racket for child rapists. So, you believe in the law, Sandra Doorley? Do you believe that you, Sandra Doorley, must abide by, must follow, must respect the law? Attach this YouTube Freedom of Information Law document. That's right there. Freedom of Information Law document. And I'm not asking you. Public Employee Payroll for the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. It has my email. My email is cchichester@jul4@gmail. That's it. Send your public employee payroll for the Monroe County District Attorney's Office to my home address or email. FOIL. Public Employee Payroll. Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Do you understand what you're looking at? Michael Radler, Kathleen Miller, S.L. Brody W. Today. Why do you think you exist? Why do you think you exist at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? Because it's not monopoly money, baby. This is real money. That's why you exist, to abridge my civil and constitutional rights with real money. You got that? And I want to know what everyone is paid. I'm demanding to know what everyone is paid at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Got that? Do you understand me? So, I'm also demanding from you, Todd Baxter, and we got this previously. You put that device on the building. You refuse to send me the video image. I want the cost of that device. It's your device. It's your camera. You bought it, you installed it, I have photos of it, and I was on it. And you lie about it. Because it's easy to lie about the freak show despite the fact that you created the freak show. So, again, Freedom of Information Law. The names and charges of every inmate at Monroe County Jail from January 1, 2018 to December 31, 2018. What's not to understand? The name, the charge, send me a list. Everyone at that jail is there because of a public proceeding, and this jail is a public building. Send me the list. Cost for a trip to Atlanta, Georgia for Hotel and Boyd for Monroe County Sheriff employee Ryan Fisher to attend the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia with his canine dog Lola on February 3rd, 2019. What are you doing sending Ryan Fisher to the Super Bowl? What is Ryan Fisher doing out in New York State? How much did that plane ticket cost? How much did that hotel cost? How much did it cost for the care and feeding of Lola? Cost the taxpayers of Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits for failure to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Have you settled sexual harassment lawsuits because of a disgusting environment at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office for employees? Yes or no? So, and I'm going to send you a FOIL, Sandra Doorley, with the same language. What's the climate in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office? Female employees. Can you answer that question? Female employees in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. What is the climate like at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office? Julie Hahn. What's the climate? Can you work in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office free from sexual harassment? Robin Catalano, can you work in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office free from sexual harassment? Michelle Crowley, can you work in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office free from sexual harassment? Sarah Von Stridon, can you work in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office free from sexual harassment? Elizabeth Buckley, can you work in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office free from sexual harassment? Ann Chase, can you work in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office free from sexual harassment? I don't even tell you what I mean by sexual harassment because it has 1,000 different definitions that dehumanize the soul. Liberty is the soul's right to breathe. And sexual harassment in the workplace is the suffocation of the soul. It's a man, and it's usually a man. Almost always it's a man. It's a man asking a woman out on a date over and over and over, and she is under siege with the reply, no, I don't want to go out with you. No, I don't want to have a drink with you. No, I don't want to have lunch with you. No, I don't want to do anything with you. No. It's a man making crude, vile, vulgar, disgusting, obscene remarks to a woman in her presence. In all likelihood about sex. It's a man using profane words like fuck in the office in regards to sex. What's the environment in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, you female employees? Have you, Sandra Doorley, settled employment-related job discrimination lawsuits under Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act because of sexual harassment? Sexual harassment. Are you female employees at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office being touched inappropriately at the office by the male employees? And what do I mean by touched? Does the male employee ever come up to you, give you a little neck rub, see how you doing, how's your day going? Huh? That doesn't meet this definition of sexual harassment of a rape or any of the other definitions that comprise sexual harassment, but he's still putting his hands on you. You know, the next time a male at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, if this happens, wants to come and give you a little neck rub at the office, what you should do, you should turn around and kick him right in the balls. That's what you should do. So, Sheriff Baxter, sent you certified mail, June 15th, 2019, for your public employee payroll. Refused. Sheriff Todd Baxter is afraid to open his mail for me. Refused. Put that camera on that building. I'm walking through the parking lot for the 4,000th time, and Elliot Roth is outside. He says to me, you're going to be arrested. I have no idea what he's talking about. So I want to know who told him I'm going to be arrested. This nauseating descent on my life. Refused. I walk my dog 4,000 times. My wonderful little guy from Lollipop Farm. So I lived in Webster with beautiful, perfect Laura. And we decided we wanted to adopt a dog. Give a dog that has no home a home. Because every dog deserves to have a home. And if you have a dog at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, I hope you love your dog, because that's the way it's supposed to be. And that's undoubtedly the way it's supposed to be. Or the way it undoubtedly is, I should say. So, Laura and I go to Lollipop Farm Humane Society and we're interviewed. And you have to establish character to adopt a dog. They just don't give anybody a dog. And this interview was just as thorough as any job interview. Any interview that is seeking to establish character and establish you as a responsible person. And we approved and we went. We picked my wonderful little guy out. He's my guy since I live alone. Now he's my guy. It was our guy at the time. So, and we're walking through the cages and Laura said to me, he's looking right at you. And he's staring up there at the cage. And please adopt me, Chris Law, and take me home. And I'm going to be the best little guy. And I'm going to love you forever. And when I first get there and you're sleeping at night in your bed, I'm going to jump right up on the bed. And I'm going to be there in the bed because I love being in the house so much. Thank you for adopting me. And I'm going to jump up on the bed every night. And Laura's not going to like that. And that's why Laura's going to buy me a dog bed. And Chris doesn't like it when I'm jumping up on the bed because I want to be next to Chris all the time. And Chris doesn't let me sleep in the bed, even though I love Chris. Chris never lets me sleep in the bed because I got my own bed. So anyway, I'm walking my wonderful little guy for the 4,000th time on this land next to my house. And the back window flies open. This is the employee for Nayraj and Layla Kumar Shah. This deuce and a half. And she's screaming at me. I have no idea why she's screaming at me. All I'm doing is walking my dog 4,000 times on this land. It's as ordinary as it gets to walk your dog. She doesn't exit her building, the employee for Raj and Layla Kumar Shah. She doesn't exit the building and talk to me. The window flies open and she's screaming at me. So I take my little guy in, I walk over there through the parking lot that I'm no longer allowed to walk through. I'm the only New Yorker out of 17.9 million that will be arrested for walking through the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot. So I walk over there to find out what the problem is, because people talk and communicate. I open up the door to talk to this deuce and a half, and she refuses to talk to me. What I don't know is Raj and Layla Kumar Shah already called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and they're on their way to my house with animal control to seize my dog. I come back home, and I sit down on my couch, and I hear this pounding on my door. They don't just knock. They pound on your doors, I now know. So, I'm surprised they didn't do it the old-fashioned way at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office in 1970 and just kick down my door. So I go to the door, and I open the door, and there they are. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office. 2 vehicles in front of my house. All I did is walk my dog like I do every day 4,000 times around in front of my house, these black chops. And next to the Monroe County Sheriff employees is the animal control guy, and he has a pole in his hand with a noose on it. There he is with his noose. You know, I've been to the National Zoo when I worked on Capitol Hill, and I've been to the tiger cages. And the guy at the tiger cage, he stands there with a pole in his hand with a noose on it. You know, my little guy is a Shih Tzu, and he weighs about 12 pounds. So there he is. What's he going to do? Wrap that around my wonderful little guy's neck? This is the lunatic fringe. This is what they're doing to me here in Monroe County. Do you even know what your employees are doing, Todd the fascist stooge? This is why when I call you and ridicule and mock you as a fascist stooge, this is why you're a fascist stooge. Do you understand why you are a fascist stooge, Todd Baxter? Do you get that? Here he is. There's my wonderful little guy. There's my picture. Look at him. Is he not the cutest little guy? Look at him right there. You think you're going to come and take my wonderful little guy from me? Look at the look on his face right there. And he loves everyone there at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, including you too, Michael Radley, you double dipper. Look at the look on his face there. Huh? Can you not just love him to pieces? So anyway, now, I'm walking my dog like I always walk my dog. Walk through the parking lot for the 4,000th time like I'm always walking through the parking lot. And I walk through the parking lot one day and Raj Shah starts to scream to me. He's totally losing it. He's doing the full Mel Gibson, screaming at me from inside his vehicle. I turn around, I go to talk to him, and he doesn't even exit his vehicle, this whack job. Doesn't even want to get out of his car to talk to me. So that's when he goes to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and they put a camera on the building at 2025 Penfield Road because they want to nail me to the wall to see if I walk through the parking lot. And they're lying about that. So, this is the nauseating, disgusting fiction that delivers me to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. The warrant for my arrest for walking through the parking lot after this confrontation with Shah. Shah signed an information stating that he wants H. to arrest him for being on his property again today, warrant advised. For being on his property. He doesn't have the documentation to prove that he owns that land, and it's a parking lot 20 people a day walk through. A warrant for me. He's not going to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office for a warrant for my neighbors walking through the parking lot. On June 30th at Penfield High School, there was the July 4th fireworks celebration. And Penfield High School band students were walking through that parking lot all day long. And then they had the fireworks at Harris Whalen Park. And after Harris Whalen Park, fireworks, I walked down Penfield Road to get back to my residence. And I could see in front of me 200 plus people. Every single person goes left to walk through the parking lot. I kept walking down Penfield Road. Did you, Raj, in Crazy Town, go to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office about these 200 plus people walking through the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot after fireworks in Harris Whalen Park? Did you do that in Crazy Town? In your sick, demented, vile, nauseating, repulsive existence? Did you do that, Raj? You know the answer to that is no. So, Sandra Doorley, have you heard of the United States Constitution? Does the 14th Amendment ring a bell, Sandra, sweetheart? 14th Amendment, equal protection of the laws? You want to be Judge Kyle Steinbach? Can you go and explain to Sandra Doorley that I have equal protection under the laws? So, Nayraj Shah, prove you own that land. Refused. Nayraj Shah, prove you own that land. Refused. Nayraj Shah, prove you own that land. Refused. I changed the name. Layla Kumar Shah, prove you own that land. Refused. Layla Kumar Shah, prove you own that land. Refused. Layla Kumar Shah, prove you own that land. Refused. So, excuse me, Sandra. I have a photograph here of your most recent portrait. Here it is right here. Here you are. And this is quite a portrait of you that adorns your office wall in Rochester. Here you are, Sandra, right here. I have a question for you, Sandra. Are you torturing James Caan in your office there in Rochester? What's that you got in your hand, Sandra? I'm very concerned about your behavior, Sandra. So perhaps you need to calm down a little bit. I know you got a lot of cases, all right, but you need to free James Caan, leave James Caan alone. And, James Caan, he needs to find a garbage can and smash Carlo over the head in the street in New York City, okay? So let James Caan go, Sandra, and leave him alone. And, Todd, I'm very concerned about you, as well as my wonderful little guy who walks behind me. There he is, my wonderful little guy you wanted to take from me and seize from me. And I'm very concerned about you, Todd, and your behavior at the office at 130 South Plymouth Avenue. Because you got some bizarre habit going on here. What are you doing here with this face mask, Todd? What is going on here with this face mask that you're wearing? Is that plastic? And did you fix that yourself, Sheriff Baxter? I mean, what is going on here? Did you put that on yourself? And Michael Rather do that for Kathleen Miller. Did you put this on Sheriff Baxter's face? Because Sheriff Baxter obviously cannot control himself, was sending his whack jobs to my house, and you had to fix him up here at the sheriff's office with this mask. So I'm very concerned about Sheriff Baxter. Perhaps, you could talk to him. And what you also need to talk to him about is you always have your badge-wearing, gun-carrying, Barney Fife jokes alongside the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters at 2157 Penfield Road, because Danny and Colleen Wegman are obviously a crime family. And I'm concerned about the physical conditioning of your Monroe County Sheriff employees, because you may have to run after a criminal, a real criminal, not me, because I'm an innocent man. And your whack jobs are 10, 15, 20 pounds overweight. I've seen enough of them. I tell Andrew Reale to lose weight, all right? And you need to lose weight too, Michael Rather, because you're packing on easily 10, 15 pounds as an assistant to Sheriff Baxter sitting on your wooden elementary school desk, and that's a Jimmy intern. So this is what you need to do with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, all right? You need to change your diet and lose some weight and get in shape. When I was in the Army, you had the PT test. We had to do the push-ups, the sit-ups, the 2-mile run. Is there any type of physical training at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? Because you have to be in shape. I already know the answer to that question. You don't have to do any type of physical training at all. There's no physical training at all, Todd Baxter. There's no push-ups. There's no sit-ups. There's no 2-mile run. There's nothing that's the equivalent of a PT test in the Army. And in the PT test, I'll tell you, it's 300 points. You get 100, at least when I was in. You get 100 for the push-ups, 100 for the sit-ups, 100 for the 2-mile run. Guess who scored the perfect 300, Todd, baby? And I'm going to tell you why your whack jobs are never going to score a perfect 300. Because you ate too many of these Twinkies right here, all right? You got to tell your whack jobs to stop eating these Twinkies after they park their vehicles alongside the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters. You understand me? Look at this little guy here, Todd. You got to tell this guy, this is the psychological reason why you're eating these Twinkies. Point to that Twinkie there, right there, Todd. I mean, it's irresistible. Look at that cream-filled center there. This is why your whack jobs have weight problems, okay? Because this little guy with his seductive advertising, you're looking at this cream-filled center of this Twinkie. You got to tell your whack jobs to lay off these Twinkies, all right, Sheriff Baxter? Now, Michael Rather, I have your 2 paychecks here as a double dipper. And here they are right here. Here's your 2 paychecks, Michael, baby. What the hell are you doing with 2 paychecks? That's what I want to know. Kathleen Miller, sweetheart, do you have 2 paychecks? Do you? Yeah, I like to know the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Who has 2 paychecks at the Monroe County? Perry Duckles, do you have 2 paychecks at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office? Mark Monahan, do you have 2 paychecks? Juliana, do you have 2 paychecks? Michael Harrigan, do you have 2 paychecks? Matthew Schwartz, do you have 2 paychecks? Robin Catalano, do you have 2 paychecks? Sean Crowley, do you got 2 paychecks? William Gargan, do you have 2 paychecks? Sarah Van Strider, do you have 2 paychecks? Elizabeth Buckley, no relation to William F. Do you have 2 paychecks? Stephen X. O'Brien and X. What's the X for? Do you have 2 paychecks? David Dice, do you have 2 paychecks? Ann Chase, do you have 2 paychecks? Kyle Steinbach, the next William when Chris wants to be a judge. Do you got 2 paychecks, Kyle, baby? Do you have 2 paychecks there like Michael Radler, the double dipper? Michael Radler, the double dipper, is being paid off by Sheriff Todd Baxter, baby. When are you going to fire this guy? I sent this character a Freedom of Information Law document 18 times for this payroll. And 18 times, you, Michael Radler, the double dipper, you 2 paychecks, sitting on your wooden elementary school desk, that's the Jimmy intern. 18 times, you, Michael Radler, refused. Just like you, Sandra Doorley, asking for another 4 years. You, Sandra Doorley, asking for another 4 years, are going to refuse to disclose your public employee payroll despite the fact that your nauseating, criminal, repulsive existence at 47 South Fitzhugh Street is because of the taxpayers of Monroe County, the state of New York. So, anyway, Sandra, I've asked you this question before and I cannot get an answer. What is the name of the female prosecutor that stands in the Star Chamber of Penfield Town Court and says not one word, not one sound, not one syllable as I am delivered to Monroe County Jail? How am I delivered to Monroe County Jail as an innocent man when your female prosecutor in Penfield Town Court before 70-year-old hack says not one word, not one sound, not one syllable, Sandra Doorley? Resign, Sandra Doorley.